Welcome, everyone, to the Directed IRA podcast with Matt Sorensen and Mark Kohler. Although today you might be thinking, is that Justin Timberlake on set with Matt Sorensen today?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, let me get my stunt double. Justin, you're off. Let me slide right in. Yeah. So those watching on YouTube, you would have just seen a switch there.
Yeah, we got Mark's he's looking dapper today. So I just, give him a little JT love.
Yeah. Well, if you're kind of a Justin Timberlake fan, and who isn't, you've seen in some of his videos, he's gone a little country. He's wearing flannel in his Say Anything. Another video he shot in Jackson Hole, just a hop, skip, and a jump from me here. He's got a place in Jackson Hole where all the millionaires and billionaires live. But Idaho's getting to be a hip spot. Jesse on Breaking Bad, Aaron Paul, he's got a place in Idaho now. He lives here full time.
Okay.
Harrison Ford keeps his plane in Driggs, half hour from here. I mean, people, this is hip.
Yeah, it's pretty much Hollywood. You could say that.
One could say that. Whether or not it's true. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Jesse from Breaking Bad. I mean, he's a little B-list. He's B-list celebrity now, right?
That hurts. I'm trying to get him on the show and you just pulled that.
Yeah.
Okay. Producer, delete that.
It's not like he's your neighbor in Idaho. Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, we were out mowing lawns last night, hanging out. Yeah.
Well, anyways, we're just trying to have fun here. Today, though, is a serious topic, but also one we think is pretty cool. Using a health savings account, which you can self-direct. We have a lot of accounts here. I actually self-direct mine. Mark self-directs his. So we're going to dive into the HSA, how it works, how to get money in, how to get it self-directed, cool things we've seen people do with them.
Yeah, there's a lot of unique strategies with the HSA. And some of you may think I make too much money for an HSA. There's no phase-out limit. The requirements are very friendly for the wealthy. So we don't want to discourage any of you from not listening further in the show. Welcome if you're a new listener. Both Matt and I are tax attorneys and, just regular guys, just trying to have a good time.
Yep. Just two dudes with a podcast. We have two podcasts. This is, we have the Main Street Business podcast we've had for years we're almost up to 2 million downloads between the two. But let's explain. Oh no, let's give a little update on self-directing actually.
Yes. Oh yeah, newsflash. Okay.
Yeah. What are you doing with your HSA or other self-directing?
My first. Okay. I'm going to actually do a visual demonstration here for those that are on YouTube.
For those on the podcast listening on audio, this is great.
Matt will give play-by-play. Explain.
Okay, I will. Yeah.
You're doing like a basketball game for those.
Okay. All right.
Mark is.
Justin Timberlake's bending over to pick up. What does he have in his hands?
His shoes. My shoes.
Oh.
You really don't want to see the bottom yet. Okay, so Matt and I are going to give you a little update on what we're doing with our self-directing in our personal lives. We thought anybody listening to this show should know, hey, are these guys doing freaking what they're teaching? And we have done so for years. We used to speak at all the custodians around the country trying to help people catch the vision of self-directing. And then we were lucky enough to team up with some other investors and get approved. It took years. Matt Sorensen really spearheaded that. And so now we're officers at Directed IRA Trust Company or Directed Trust Company, directedira.com. So anyway, that's been the impetus for the show. And I've got my HSA in one investment. I'll briefly give all my self-directed investments. So I have my HSA owning an LLC named the Kohler Dutton Livestock Company, or LLC. Kohler Dutton Livestock. Now, for any of you that are...
And Dutton's a silent partner in this business. John Dutton, of course, from Yellowstone fame.
Yeah, if I need some weight thrown around or...
And by silent partner we mean like non-existent.
Yeah. We don't want to get sued here from Prime. The Prime original, whatever, the Yellowstone series. It's a pretty a cool show. So I bought 5 cows. These were mama cows. And about a month ago in my HSA and my LLC, Kohler Dutton Livestock, and they gave birth this last month, over the last 3 to 4 weeks, to 5 bull steers. Now that's fairly rare. Usually there's a mix of boys and girls.
Yeah.
My rancher, you said your mom's gave, and that's good. A bull steer is more valuable than a heifer, which is a female calf. So did I say bull steers? Oh my gosh, someone out there's bull calf. They're bull calves. They're going to be steers soon, which is a very tragic day in the life of a bull. But yeah, these are bull calves. Someone already is like, this guy is an idiot. Yep, you're right. I have no idea what I'm doing. I watch Yellowstone, so I think I can be a rancher. So anyway, for lunch today, I went out and looked at my 10 cows that are now in my HSA. And I was going to demonstrate that I ruined my good shoes walking through.
Yeah.
That's cow poop on the side of my shoes for those on YouTube. So I'm going to have to go home and wash my shoes.
Yeah.
These are brand new. I bought these Johnson & Murphy's just last week. And then my team at the office was like, let's go take pictures with the cows. I'm like, all right. And I get out there and I'm like, these are my new shoes. Cow's poo. Pastures have cow poo in them. So I got to fix my shoes. I didn't wear my cowboy boots. Okay, so my HSA, I bought hay and cows in my HSA. Okay, your turn, Matt. What do you got going on in one of your retirement accounts?
Okay, well, I've been doing crypto lately. You know, I've got some rentals in them as well.
Oh, you're choosing one. Gosh.
Okay, I'm just going to talk about the crypto.
Okay.
You know, crypto's been a roller coaster. So, and it did, you know, we're down. Crap, it's down almost a third. Bitcoin, Ethereum, the main stuff. So, you know, Elon Musk sends out one tweet and the whole thing goes, what? But that's what I've been doing. And I've actually bought more in the dip, so to speak. So we'll see how it comes back. And I'm not going all in on it for those listening, just so you know. That's, you know, the majority of it's just in the good old tried and true stuff like real estate. But something I've been interested in, and I've seen a lot of other smart people going into. There's certainly a lot of dumb people too. Doing it, but yeah, so that's what I've been up to.
Okay, that's in your Roth.
That's in my Roth IRA.
Do you have an LLC for that?
I do not. I do it right out of my, it's linked to my Gemini trading account with my Roth IRA here at Directed IRA, and I log in, and that morning it woke up when the market was in the dumps and it was at 30,000, you know, mid 30s for Bitcoin. That's when I bought. Okay. So because I was able to log right on, boom, do it right then.
Sweet.
Easy peasy.
I checked on my cows at lunch. You bought some Bitcoin in the morning. That's just a different lifestyle we have.
Yeah.
You're more kind of the billionaires. Bobby Axelrod gets on his phone, buys some Bitcoin. Okay, my other investment in my Roth IRA, I have an LLC called Waterman's Challenge. We won't go there today. Maybe later. Maybe we will, because we're talking about HSAs. But my Roth IRA owns an LLC that is crypto mining. So I have a 3 graphic card mining rig, and it's a dual LLC structure. One is a C Corp, one's an LLC. We've done some prior recordings on that. You'll want to go watch those. We diagrammed them out. You'll want to watch that on YouTube specifically. I think you'll love the layout visually. But my mind's plugging along, and it's creating a lot of Bitcoin. The Bitcoin's down, but I get the same quantity. It's actually interesting.
Same dollar value. You're getting more Bitcoin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's like I get paid $5. If Bitcoin's down, I still get $5 for my hour.
For Bitcoin at the time.
Yeah.
Cool.
So as Bitcoin comes up, oh man, my mining rig is going to be rocking. I'm looking at it right now. I've mined about 3% of 1 Bitcoin in the last 6 weeks. So I own 0.03% of 1 Bitcoin. And there you go. In a rig that only cost me 10 grand. So I'll pay for my rig within the first 8 to 9 months, and all that is gravy after there, folks.
All right.
Okay. Do you have any other investment?
I do, but let's get into the HSA. There's nothing exciting about them. I mean,
Okay. All right. We got some real estate going too. Matt and I have some real estate, but we got mining, we got crypto, we got cows, hay, rentals. Nothing other too sexy. Okay, so HSAs. Why don't you introduce what is an HSA and why does rich, poor, young, or old need an HSA?
All right, this is the health savings account, but don't be dismayed by savings in the name there. You can invest this thing. All right, so you can actually buy whatever you want. You can buy real estate, you could buy cows, you could buy crypto with an HSA. We've actually seen a lot of HSAs come over because many people have them with 10,000, 5,000, smaller balances. And they're like, oh, I'll just buy some crypto with it, So a lot of times some smaller balance, you might have smaller balances in it, but health savings account, the cool thing about this health savings account, this is my, I think the very unique thing about it from all other accounts, you put the money in, you get a tax deduction. And like Mark said, who cares how much money you make? There's no phase out. You could be, Elon Musk, you could be John Dutton, you could be Bobby Axelrod, whoever, okay? And, you're going to, there's no income. You're going to get a tax deduction. It's on page 1 of your 1040.
Okay, now let me add a couple things. May I on that?
Yeah.
Okay,
break it up.
Health savings account for your health care. And when you put money in, you get a tax write-off on the front page of your tax return. The only requirement just to get there is that you have to have a high deductible health insurance plan that offers minimum coverage in certain ways. It's kind of a health savings account qualified plan. Now, the health insurance company you go to does not need to give you the HSA account. They're going to give you insurance. You just to go open an HSA, you have to check a box under penalties of perjury that, I have a high deductible plan. That's it. No one's going to call your insurance company and double check. This is your honor system. Don't get audited. Don't cheat. So you can go to work, you or your spouse can go to work and opt in for a high deductible health savings account health insurance plan, and then go anywhere you want and open your HSA account to make deposits. Now, maybe your employer will give you a pittance and give you $100 a month or something, which is not a use it or use it plan. If they go, hey, if you sign up for the high deductible plan, we'll put $100 in your HSA every month. Great. You could have an HSA at work that they're putting $100 in, probably comes with a debit card. And then you could open an HSA at Directed IRA and go buy cows or Bitcoin or regular stocks that you would prefer. A typical HSA provider is only going to give you a basic mutual fund to choose from. They're usually sponsored by one particular mutual fund with 2 or 3 risk options. But the beauty is once you get the money in, you get a write-off, you can open the HSA anywhere, and the only requirement is that you have health insurance somewhere with your own business, personally, day job, through spouse, doesn't matter. You just got to be on a high deductible plan. Next point, Matt, as we describe these.
All right. Now, you can use it for healthcare at any time. Okay. Now, some people like to use it as just a tax strategy. I got to pay my kid's orthodontist bill. It's $1,000. Let me put $1,000 in my HSA, and I'm going to pay the orthodontist out of my HSA $1,000. Okay. And that you basically that was tax deductible, where otherwise, if you just paid the dentist or orthodontist or doctor, whoever, you're getting zero tax deduction on that generally. So, you can use the money for medical as it comes up. And if you don't have medical, keep it invested in all these other assets we're talking about, and you'll have it for the long haul for you. And, you can use it for, all types of medical prescription drugs, obviously surgeries, like I said, dental, mental health, long-term care when you're older. I mean, all those things are eligible expenses for that your health savings account can spend the money back out.
Okay. I love it. Now, I want to give some actual numbers here on how much you can contribute this year. And I don't have my calendar in front of me.
Yeah, I got it here. So it's 3,600, or sorry. Yeah, contribution, 3,600 single or individual, I should say. And then 7,200 family. That's 2021.
Okay. And if you're head of household, if you're not married, but you have at least one child in the home or dependent, and you have a group policy because you have a dependent, that means you can get the family plan. So you could put in your $7,200 this year. You actually have until next April 15th to put that money in for this year. You could incur a medical expense now, put the money in November, and reimburse yourself for your expense you just had this week. Or you could put the money in now, invest it, and wait until you have a healthcare expense in November. So yeah, there are lots of flexibility. They're trying to make this easy for people to reimburse themselves for prior expenses, make contributions, and reimburse themselves later. The government hasn't emphasized the hold and invest strategy, which we're going to. They're trying to just they're just trying to say, put the money in, take it right back out. Now, one caveat is you have to have the account open. That's the beginning period of when you can start reimbursing yourself for expenses. On an extreme example, you could open an HSA today, put $100 in it, not even make a 2021 contribution, not even make a 2022 contribution, but you could make a 2023 contribution and go back and reimburse yourself for expenses in 21, 22 because you had the account open. It's not when you put the money in, it's when you open the account. So our primary recommendation to clients is get the account open, put in a few bucks. Now, we'd like you to start investing it until you need it or until you reimburse yourself, but it's a good record-keeping strategy. Get started now.
Yeah, good tip. Now, remember with this, I'm getting a tax deduction to go in. It comes out when I have medical tax-free at any age. You're not waiting till you're 59 and a half or any of that, at any age. And the growth is tax-free. This is the only deal out there where you get a tax deduction on the way in, tax-free growth, and it comes out tax-free, in this case, for your qualifying healthcare.
Man, isn't this crazy? We're not even done telling you all the good things about this. Some of you are probably blown away. Publication 502. If you're not driving right now, try to write that down. Make a mental note if you are driving or on a treadmill. Don't kill yourself. IRS Publication 502 is your best friend. That's a document, seriously, that I have literally saved on my desktop. It's the only one. The reason why is this publication is kind of like your manual of all the things you can write off that are valid medical expenses. Mileage to the hospital, mileage to the doctor, hotel and food while you travel to a hospital maybe further away for treatment, copays, deductibles, dental, chiropractic, massage therapy prescribed by a doctor, physical therapy. The list goes on and on. Just drug rehab for you or a family member that needs to go into a facility, adoption, plastic surgery that's not cosmetic. I don't know.
Yeah. Let me throw out, I'm going to throw out some additional little tips here. Maybe I'll surprise you. Mark's kind of an HSA wizard, okay. So. But
now, before you throw, you got something good?
I got some cool ones. Yeah.
Okay. Before you do, let me just say on the plastic surgeon comment, I've got being a tax attorney, you make friends with people that are trying to save taxes. Some of those are going to be plastic surgeons. Great guys. I won't say anything. I'm not going to say it because we don't need.
We've had an explicit rating on one of our episodes a while ago. We're like, how did that happen?
Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna say anything. Okay. No puns. Right. No puns. There's some puns that we could go with there, but I'm not. But the beauty is they need tax advice all the time, and I need work all the time. So what you see here, this is a lot of work. So for those on YouTube, I'm doing a little hair therapy right now. I'm not embarrassed. I'm going to say this. I was hanging out with my plastic surgeon last week. Now this is hair restoration on publication 502. Is that tax deductible? I'm going to look right now.
I don't know. That seems cosmetic to me.
It does. But I'm going to look right now. Okay. But while I'm looking this up,
Okay.
I went in, and what they do is they draw your blood out of your arm, they spin it in this cool little centrifuge, and split out your plasma. Like, people that donate plasma for big bucks.
Yeah.
College students or whatever. Well, they take your
You've never
plasma.
done a blood drive?
I've done blood drives, but not plasma.
Oh, okay.
Plasma is painful.
Oh,
Have you donated plasma?
I didn't know there was a difference between a blood and plasma.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Where's my producer? Corey, have you donated plasma?
Yeah, it sucks.
It sucks. Yeah, it's not like cookies and milk at the high school gym donating blood. It's freaking painful. Anyway, so they pull my blood out, they spin out the plasma, and then he sucks it into a needle and he injects it in my head. And I'm on my third treatment. And look at this. Look at this full head, look at this.
that mane.
I just want to throw that out. You guys watch on YouTube, you're like, man, that guy's got a full head of hair.
Yeah.
Well, it's the plasma treatment.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to see if it's tax deductible.
Hair Club for Men, where like the guy's like, I'm not only the president of Hair Club for Men, I'm also a customer.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not the Hair Club for Men. This is not fake hair. They're just shooting plasma in my head.
We got a good angle of your head right now. Any of you on YouTube right now?
Sorry. I'm looking down. Okay. Okay. Here's the rules. See, this is why publication 502 is important. Some of you may think I'm just being stupid, an example here of joking around. But this is
no one's thinking that. No.
I was talking about Matt, of course. But this is how it works. You're sitting around at dinner going, hey, can I write off my pet, my comfort pet, that I have a letter from my doctor that I need an emotional support animal? The answer is yes. But you wouldn't know if you didn't have publication 502 on your phone. So I just pulled it up. Here, let me tell you. So this is why you think about it. You go, guys are worried about their hair. Some women, not as much. But a wig, you can include in medical expense the cost of a wig purchased upon the advice of a physician for the mental health of a patient. Oh, I didn't know that. Who has lost all of his or her hair from disease. That's interesting.
Is baldness a disease?
I've got male pattern
leukemia patient or like cancer patients.
Yeah, male pattern baldness. Hair transplant falls under cosmetic surgery, and you cannot include in medical expenses the amount you pay for cosmetic surgery. This includes procedures for your appearance, unless it's to prevent or treat an illness or disease. I don't think so this is not going well. I don't think I'm going to electrolysis or hair removal. Nope, it's all cosmetic. Bummer. No write-off for that, people. Okay, but I'll keep looking while Matt gives his cool tips. Okay, what's some tips here? I want to hear what you got. Maternity clothes? Is that what you're going to go with? You're muted.
I was actually looking up a Seinfeld quote. I love the Seinfeld episode where George is complaining about someone who has a wig. I think it was a girl he was dating or something. Okay. And Elaine gets so pissed off at him. She's like, "You're bald." She's like, "What are you talking about? How are you complaining about this? You're bald." Okay. Here's the tips. Okay. These are just kind of, little factoids, I think, that are
they're helpful
cool on an HSA. Okay. Yeah. First, you don't need earned income to contribute to an HSA. With your IRAs and 401ks, you have to have earned income to contribute it. So wage income or self-employment income. But in HSA, you just need income. It can come from any source. You could have rental income, investment income, and you can still contribute to an HSA. Okay. Did you know that one?
I did. Okay.
All right.
Maybe not everybody knew that, so that's good.
Okay. All right. Next one. Okay. Your spouse can inherit your HSA. So you can pass on your spouse to your spouse when you pass away, which is similar to what you can do on a spousal IRA. So a spouse could inherit the account, no tax, and can continue to use it for their medical.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, we're talking about age. Another tip. Now, we're going to talk about how to self-direct it in just a moment. But hopefully by now, all of you are like, oh my gosh, I've got to get one of these. And sometimes when you're really unhealthy, you're like, I'm really relying on my health insurance right now, a certain provider, a certain plan, a certain treatment. Changing plans right now is not an option. I get it. But let's say you get through the woods and you're doing well, or some of you right now that are healthy and you don't even use your health insurance. You're a perfect candidate to say, I'm going to go high deductible. I'd never go to the doctor anyway, and if I do, I've got insurance. It's a fail-safe, it's a safety net. But in the meantime, I can contribute to my HSA along the way, get a tax write-off, and then when I do need it, I can go grab it tax-free. But I can get cheaper insurance possibly along the way.
Yeah.
I love it.
Now we've mentioned like these qualifying plans, right? You have to have a high deductible health insurance plan to qualify for an HSA. Okay? If you have no insurance, you can't do an HSA. If you're doing a cost sharing ministry or something like that, you cannot do an HSA. You have to have a qualifying high deductible health insurance plan. And most insurance brokers, if you're buying on an individual marketplace, it's very clear. It'll say HSA qualifying plan. It's not just the deductible amount. Be careful. There's a couple other requirements that are hard to explain here on like what the coverage is for a qualifying HSA plan. But it's going to say on it, HSA qualifying. They market it as that. Yeah. So just look out for that. That's
and I've looked it up for this year, 2021, the minimum deductible, meaning a high deductible plan, it has to be a high deductible of at least $1,400 if you're single, $2,800 if you're family. But if you divide that by 12, that's a couple $100 a month. Well, you might be able to get a cheaper policy for a couple $100 a month. Put that in the bank. If you don't end up using it, you saved it. If you do, there's your deductible. So what you're hoping is that your insurance premium lowers and creates that cost savings to cover the deductible if you really do need to rely on it. Now here's some bad news. We got to get bad news. When you turn 65, you can't put in new contributions. You can keep an HSA if you built one up and you're still investing in it and you're drawing on it. That's cool. But when you pass go, January 1st every year, you can't put in another $7,200. Now, as people get closer to that age, they do throw you a bone. Between age 55 and 65, you're able to put in an extra $1,000. So if any of you are in your 50s, you want to get this account open, start plowing money into it and investing it because you're going to need it. The number one reason for pulling money out of a retirement account are for medical expenses. This is a retirement account specifically for medical. And they're so easy to get a write-off in without any conflict of any other plan you might be in at work or in your small business or other employees. It's yours, and it goes with you everywhere.
Yeah, and the design of it now is you're earning and you have income, you need tax deductions, you get a tax deduction now, you get to invest it and grow it, pull it out tax-free in retirement. Or if you want to hold it for the long haul, again, you could spend it on medical whenever you want. But what we've seen a lot of our clients do, and I think is wise, is they don't take it out unless they really need it. They like to keep that money invested, and it is kind of this thing they're looking for later in life to be a resource to draw on for their future medical, possibly long-term care, and these other expenses that we end up facing later in life.
Yeah. Well, and I've got to say, I was outside. It's still a little cold. It's spring here. Now that I'm in the studio and it's warm and my shoes are warming up, I don't want to describe the smell. That's kind of
yeah.
It's just kind of here in the studio now. Can you
Thanks
smell
for
it, Corey?
sharing that.
Yeah. It's a little, they call cowboy boots shit kickers.
Yeah.
For a reason.
There goes our E rating.
Is that our E rating? Is that an E rating? I'm sorry.
I know how we get this. Before I was like,
Hey, if you've got kids in the car, this is a chance to talk about farmer swear words. There's just a few farmer swear words, that just,
that are okay.
Yeah, Tate in season 3 of Yellowstone is learning that hanging out with the cowhands, little grandson of John Dutton. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I haven't got to season 3. He's still alive then. Okay.
Oh, did I just spoiler alert?
He was kidnapped.
Oh, you're ruining it for someone. Okay, no more talking. We're going to ruin it for someone. They wouldn't kill a kid. Come on. All right. You knew he'd be alive.
There's some there's some mean dudes up there. There's
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
some evil people there.
Okay, now I've got to give another. Okay, let's get into self-directing, and then we'll come back to HSAs for a minute. Because I want to, let's say you're like, I'm all in. Guys, you sold me. This makes perfect sense. I should be building my Roth, my spouse's Roth, my mom and dad's Roth. That's my goal this year, is to get a Roth going for my mom where I'm the beneficiary. And I'm telling my brother and sister, I'm putting the money in for my mom, so back off. When it's settlement time at the estate, that Roth is mine, and it's not counted against me in my other share of the estate. So an inherited Roth is amazing. So some of you may be building your own Roth, your spouse, your kids, your parents, helping them, giving them money, doing whatever it takes to build those accounts. You also may be doing your 401k at work, getting a match, then getting out. You may have a solo 401k in your side hustle, in your small business on the side. Very doable. You might be doing the mega backdoor Roth, the backdoor Roth period. So many little strategies we talk about on the show. HSA is in the mix. Same thing. Get that HSA started. Get it funded. Start investing in it. You can buy stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. You can self-direct into crypto. You can buy cows, whatever you want, that you think you're going to get a better rate of return than that piece of crap 2% the bank's going to give you on their HSA account. That's why we're doing this.
2%? They're not paying 2%. That was that piece of crap is like 0.5%, if that, right now.
Yeah. Now, once you get your account set up, it's like any other self-directed account. You're going to love it. The team at Directed IRA calls you up and says, hey, we got your money. What do you want to do with it? You know what, Matt? On my way here to the studio today, one of the ladies, I won't say her name, called from your office. She's just right out the door from you, right out your glass window. And she called up and she was like, hey, how are you today, Mr. Kohler? I just wanted to call and let you know we received your money. And I don't think she knew it was me, Mark Kohler, CFO of the company. She was just on the front lines doing her job, calling everybody for the day. She's like, we received your money. Did you get my email? I'm like, yes, I did. And she goes, well, we need to get you to sign this other form. I want to get these accounts funded today. I'm like, okay, thank you. Can you tell me why you're doing this? And she was smart. She was helpful. And she's like, you know what, Mark? I'm going to prepare that form for you and send it right over. I said, thank you very much. And she goes, then when your money's in your account in the next day or two, call us back and let us know where you want it invested, or use the direction letter on our website. I was like, Matt Sorensen's really training this gal. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah, we got the dream team over here. We totally do.
Yeah.
Not going to lie.
Yeah, call up another custodian and try to get a person that even knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. There's people answering the phone at Directed IRA, which is novel. Okay, so that's how you self-direct. I mean, from there, it's the same old crap we've been teaching. Prohibited transactions, LLCs, multi-member, UBIT.
Yeah, and some of you may have an HSA. You know, you already have the HSA. Maybe your employer did set it up, as Mark talked about, or maybe you've just been doing one at your bank, or you've been in a mutual fund, and you're like, I'm kind of over this. Get it. You can also get that over to Directed IRA, and you can start self-directing it into whatever you want to do here. I mean, we've had some clients just add the brokerage account to an HSA because that's kind of hard to find, you know. But of course, you can do you could buy cows like Mark, you know, if you're into that, and the smells that are associated with it. You could buy crypto, private companies. We've even had clients just, there's a lot of these crowdfunding platforms for startups where you can invest even smaller amounts. A lot of private company investments used to be 50 grand. But now you can throw in $5,000 into certain deals, couple $1,000, and they're a little more risky, of course, because they're startups. But again, you just get to invest in what you know. You can take greater control to find the things that you like and interest you.
Yeah, especially in crowdfunding, there's some of those websites have really exciting things going on. What I'm earning, I just looked at this, which is fun for me, is I'm looking at my crypto mine. And I know some of you are like, man, he's buying cows, he's doing crypto mining. I'll be honest, I know I joke around a lot too, but Matt and I we've talked about this when we have our personal planning sessions, is we've got to be doing what we're talking about and teaching. I didn't spend 50 grand on cows. I bought 10 grand worth of cows. And I love it. I love talking about it. My daughter, who's in high school, said, Dad, I told my teacher and all my friends that we have cows. Can you take a picture and send it? And you know what? It's fun. And so how many of us are sick and tired or bored with our retirement account and a mutual fund we have no reality of what it's even invested in. Matt, you do that at workshops. You have people raise their hand. How do you do that?
Yeah. Yeah, when I teach to real estate agents, I used to have a class. I'd go teach real estate professionals. It's a continuing ed class. And I'd say, how many of you have a retirement account? Half the hands go up. How many of you have a retirement account invested in a mutual fund? Most of those hands are still standing up. How many of you can tell me a good mutual fund you'd recommend someone invest into? Everybody's hand goes down. I'm like, wait a second. Every one of you had your hands up. You have a retirement account. You're invested in a mutual fund, and none of you can tell me a good one. And sometimes I'll have someone be like, "Well, they'll basically give me like something that models the S&P 500, like an S&P 500 fund, mutual fund essentially," and that's about it. And then you'll hear people be like, "Well, I don't even know what mutual fund I have. I couldn't even tell you the name, let alone tell you what that mutual fund owns." Like people have just gotten so disconnected from their money. So then I'll ask them, again, these are all real estate professionals. I say, how many of you can tell me a good real estate deal? Like almost everyone's hand in the room goes up. I saw a property I think is a good deal, or it could be a good rental, or is undervalued, or it could be fixed and sold, And I'm like, why are you guys buying mutual funds with your retirement account? Like you see real estate, you're in the business of it. Like you have a competitive advantage out there. Put your money to work in what you know, invest in what you know. So
yeah. I love it. And so I was just going to say, I can look at my mining report, and basically with a 3 graphic card mine through MineHash and my app here, I'm making it about $5 every 4 hours. And so in a 24-hour period, that's 6 periods times 5. So that's $30. So I'm making a net return of $30 a day even when I'm sleeping. And think if you did this in your HSA. See, let's turn this all around. I got my crypto mine going for approximately $10,000 about 3 months ago. Now, I know the price of graphic cards can be all over the place and getting someone to host it for you and all that. But let's say you've got your contribution for last year and your contribution for this year, and you've got 15 grand sitting in your HSA. Well, could your HSA be making $30 a day? So let's just do the math. $30 a day times 365 days a year. My crypto mine's going to make $10,950. Divide that by a $15,000 investment. That's a 73% rate of return. Now, is the mine going to go down for a few hours here, and I got to call my techie and go, I just got an alert on my phone. Why is the mine down, or this or that? But 70% or 1% at the bank? Crazy. Yeah. And people do this in real estate. They do it with hard money loans. They do it with developments.
Yeah.
Online businesses, livestock, commodities.
Yeah.
All sorts of goodies. So
yeah. So all right. Well, that's the HSA. When you set up the account, your contributions for 2020 have passed as of a few days ago.
Yeah.
So you can still, of course, get your $7,200 in family, $3,100 single. Is that right?
Yep.
For 2021. And then just get to investing. And again, it's there when you need it. If you need to sell some of these assets to pay upcoming medical, it's there when you need it, but you don't have to. Leave it invested if you got the funds to otherwise cover those medical out-of-pocket expenses.
Yep. Now let me give you a little deeper strategy here just before we leave. I wrote an article on this. It's on my blog. So anybody at markjkohler.com can go check that out. It also populates on the law firm website and accounting firm website. Let's say you're listening and you're 65, but your spouse is 32. All right. Now, I'm sorry. I meant 52. Okay. So, Matt lives in Scottsdale, so it didn't even faze him.
Yeah. I was like, was I supposed to be like, was there anything of significance?
Seriously, people, I looked at Matt and it didn't even faze him. He's like, yeah, okay, continue. I'm serious. I went to a steakhouse with Matt in Scottsdale and I was like, this is really nice. All these grandfathers taking out their granddaughters. What a loving family area this is. And Matt's like, Mark, I think those are their girlfriends or wives. I'm like, what? Okay, we'll leave it at that. So anyway, if you're 65 and your spouse is 42, she would do a single HSA plan and put in her $3,600. If your spouse is 52, same thing, $3,600. But if she's over age 55 and you're over age 65, she would go with the single plan and do the 37 because she gets 1,000 makeup. All right. Now, let's say you're both 57 years old. Would you do a combo plan and put in your 7,200 plus 1,000 for 73? Not a good idea. You would want to both set up individual accounts for 36 because you each get 1,000 at that point. Now, could both of those HSAs invest together in an LLC? Absolutely. But you got an extra 1,000 as a write-off on your tax return. That just saved you $200-$300, and you got an extra 1,000 to invest tax-free. So when you're in this 55 to 65 range, you've got to think of how can we get the most in our contribution amount by doing single plans or combined plans. And there's a lot of tricks and strategies to try to get the most bang for your buck. Oh, and here's the other one. Yeah. Let's say that you're 60 and your spouse is 45. You can do a married plan and do the 72 plus 1,000 because at least one of you is 55.
Nice. Okay.
So there's all sorts of things that are fun there.
Okay. So remember, there's an extra 1,000 from 3,600 to 4,600, or an extra 1,000, 7,200 to 8,200.
I probably said it wrong in that, didn't I?
Yeah, you said 3,700, and I was like,
I added 100, but not 1,000. Sorry.
I know you're a CPA, but you know,
I was trying to make that.
Simple math. You got to carry that extra zero. You forgot the extra zero.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's like, that is zero is important. What do they call him? A rinky-dink accountant, Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse. They go, what kind of Mickey Mouse account do I have? Well, geez, I like Disneyland. Jeez.
Yeah, that was a little offensive. That's not an insult. That's not an insult.
Oh, one other piece of news. Justin Bieber just canceled his concert in Vegas.
Oh.
It was going to be a July concert. And again, freaking travesty of COVID.
Man. They even got Biebs, huh?
I know. And Britney Spears, she said, until my dad's removed as my conservator, I'm not performing. I'm sick of my dad making money off me. And she's petitioning the court again in California to get her dad removed as a conservator. She's like, I'll take a conservator, just not my loser dad that's been living off me for 30 years, taking advantage of me. I'm done. And so what a beautiful weekend. Little Bieb, little Britney Spears.
That could have been a great weekend in Vegas, but
yeah, nothing. All right.
No. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope you learned something about health savings account. Really is an underutilized tool, particularly in the self-directed space. A lot of our competitors don't even offer it. Frankly, I don't understand how cool it can be. But we've had lots of clients use it successfully to buy cows and other cool things. And also to say as tax attorneys too, we see it on clients' tax returns. You see that deduction on their return. You're like, boom. Whether you itemize or not, you get it. It's above the line, so to speak. So it's a cool tax strategy. It's a nice way for those of you looking for tax deductions, maybe high income.
Yeah, and forget we joke about the cows just to show the diversity there. But I also have another HSA account that owns a rental property and has owned a low-income housing rental property in South Chicago for the last 10 years. Bought it for $45,000. It's got a Section 8 tenant in there. And I still own it in my HSA. Cash flows a couple $100 a month. And it's been building my HSA. That HSA paid for my Molly, my daughter's braces. And so
there you
go, tax-free. So that little real estate project has been a nice little thing. It was a seller finance sale, no credit on me. So it was a non-recourse loan. And I funded my HSA, I think it was for $4,000 or $5,000 10 years ago, and put down 10%. So on a $45,000 low-income housing single-family home, $4,500 was the down payment, and then the seller carried the note, and I still have a mortgage against it, and I've got a little HSA rental. So it doesn't have to be anything completely outside of your wheelhouse. If you know of a rental near you, look around. So, okay, Matt, take us out. This is the show by Matt Sorensen.
Yeah, thanks everyone. If you like the show and you're still listening, please give us a 5-star review. We actually need some more 5-star reviews, or like it, or whatever, cool thing you can do on however you're listening to it. And get over to Directed IRA. We have a page on HSAs there. A lot of the videos that Mark shot on HSAs are there. Some of the articles that we've referenced here are on that page. Just go to directedira.com, search for account types HSA, and you'll find all the details there. Thanks for tuning in.